Hello Daily Drafters and welcome back to the channel for today's Arena Gauntlet League match. Today is match number 13 in the Tarkir Dragonstorm Arena Gauntlet League, rapidly approaching halfway through, and we're having a pretty decent run here so far. Stumbled yesterday with a loss, but got a comeback pack to improve the deck to what you see on your screen here right now, and it is a little bit of an Abzan mid-range deck, struggling against some of the late game decks in the format, but we've got a lot of really busted curve outs that can prove out some wins. So let's see if we can get one here today in match number 13. Before we do, let's look at the top of the 184 player leaderboard here in this league, with Pluto still standing on top at 13-2, a couple 12-3s and 11-4s rounding out the top 8. So if we want to get that top 8, we got to go at least, what is that, 2-1 for the rest of the week, something along those lines, who knows. But if you scroll down a little bit farther, we are down here in 24th with the record of 9-3 after yesterday's loss. Still some ground to gain. We can get all the way up to, I guess that would be 12-3 by the end of this week if we're able to reach, but still early enough. Let's see what we can do. Within the Abzan clan, we are still in 6th place with that record of 9-3 here today. And we're going to try to work towards getting a place in that top 8 Mega Draft among the Abzan clan if we can win the Clan Ascendancy Challenge. Today's match is going to be against iluvatar777, I suppose is how you pronounce that name. They are of the Jeskai clan, have a record of 4-8 so far in this league, playing a full-on 5-color deck. With the rank of 143rd so far. Now this is only their second league, so they have a 9-13 overall win percentage in the AGL, with a win percentage just underneath 41%, and ours fell to 57.5 with our loss yesterday. iluvatar doesn't have any badges, as well as it is just their second league, so we are going to shortly get in here to our match number 13 here in week 3 of the Tarkir Dragonstorm Arena Gauntlet League. See you in game number 1. Alright, here we are in the game, and I feel like the mulligans have been aplenty recently. Just care. I mean, if one of these was a Plains, I could keep this with the Chief of the Edge and then play Skull Hunter and then be off on our way, but definitely can't keep this as it stands. And then I guess go to 5. Although, goodness, we have a 1-drop. We have like tons of 2s. This one guarantees a 3rd land drop. Oh, this is so bad. I hate doing this, but sometimes you gotta risk it, right? Alright, we got the 1-drop. Let's see if we find the untapped land for the Sentinel on turn 2 here. Oof, never didn't have it, am I right? I'm not going to pay just so I can guarantee my 3rd land drop with the Sentinel, play another creature here. Go get the Forest. Man. Well, that was scary, but this deck that we're playing, this pool that we're playing against has 5 mythic rares and 15 rares in it. So a total of 20 rares / mythic rares, so that feels great. Yeah, let's auto pay, and do we want to go wide or go tall here? I think we want to go wide with the coordinated maneuver in hand, so let's just put some pressure on, and if we draw another untapped land, play the Devotee, and coordinated maneuver kill something, maybe? Okay, they get to draw a card, but we do, I was going to say potentially get to kill it, but getting the Pack Beast down is also really nice. Yeah, I think I need to do that. So let's get Pack Beast down here. No attacks. There's one of the 15 rares. Yeah, we're getting to the point in that league. Opponent has 8 losses here, as you saw, which means they're pretty close to maxed out on comeback packs, which is why they just have so many busted cards in this pool. I won't even go over all of them, but there are quite a few. So let's see. There is an Elspeth in this pool, mind you. Elspeth Stormslayer. So that's great. Don't see white yet, but doesn't mean... There's also 4 tri-lands, and I can't even count how many dual lands. At least 20. All right. Here's the fourth land. We have struggled against kind of team or mid-range deck when they just played like random 4/4s against us. We usually struggle against things like that. But let's see what the play is here. Hovering over the Pack Beast, looks like it'll die here. And there it goes. And I suppose we're just not blocking an 8-powered creature. Or are they going to attack? Okay, I can deal with that. In that case, I think I'm just going to kill this. I know they get to draw a card. But I'd like to be able to push 5 damage here. So... yeah, that happens. Push the damage. If we draw an untapped land, we get the Battle Priest. We could put a counter on something, but there is a chance they just play something that bricks our whole board here. That doesn't do it. Although, missed a land drop last turn, I think, so now this will guarantee one this turn. Might just be straight teamer here. They do have a Dragonback Assault in the pool. Alright, not too bad. I think I'm actually going to pump the counter this time, push more damage here, get more creatures down, and then hopefully be able to press this advantage here. I'm not seeing a board wipe. Yeah, alright. We managed to get game 1, even with a mull to 6 and a 1-land keep, so that's fun. On the draw, we have the opportunity for another aggressive negotiations. I don't see a ton of removal necessarily. If they're just straight teamer, let's see. We got a Wild Slash, a Piercing Exhale. Yeah, those are not the end of the world for needing to bring in something like Undying Malice here. There is the Dragonback Assault and a, what is this card? Invasion of Tarkir, which could flip into a dragon. So something like Undergrowth Leopard. I don't think we need to bring that in. There's the Merchant. Do we want to lower our curve for any reason? I don't think so. I think what we have is pretty decent here. So I think I'm just going to run it back as is. I don't think I need the protection. There was some removal, but I don't necessarily think I need that. So yeah, I think running it back seems decent. So let's do that. Okay, can I interest you in another mulligan? Can't cast a single card in our hand, so let's send that one back. And yeah, this one's slightly better, I guess. No guarantee we'll draw a swamp, but we can at least cast these things. So say done, and then I think I'm going to Descendant on 1 now that we drew the swamp. Feels a little bad having sent that card back now, but I think it was fine. A fine choice. Leading on Descendant of Storms, I mean, this card has been an MVP in our deck. It just gets to go unanswered so often. Oh, well, that doesn't mean unanswered. Do I trade it? I can trade it and make a 1/1. I don't even know if they would want to. So let's auto pay and make the 1/1. And I guess they will. I was going to say, them ramping with that is also not the greatest thing for us, so really hate that we weren't able to get in anymore, or at all with the Descendant, but sure. Can guard next turn, and then Lancer, then Battle Priest, and hope they don't have too many great plays here. Okay, enabling land drops. Okay, there's the white, so it looks like they are trying to fit in that Elspeth. Full teamer, swamp, and plain. So they are full 5 color here. Just got maybe a little bit punished. Okay, so this tells me that they have their one counterspell, I think. Let's see. They've got one Dispelling Exhale, and if they want to use that on a Fortress Kinguard, I think I'm cool with that. So let's get in with the 1/1. What could it be, actually? Hopefully not a flash creature. Ah, that's fine. Okay, and then play this here. I guess Lancer next turn with the Forest. Unless we draw something we'd rather play. Okay, so they played the island so they could do that Dirger Island Dragon thing. Okay, that's a 2/2. That stonewalls my board here. Alright, cross your fingers. No Dispelling Exhale. Nope. Alright. Get to land the Lancer. See if it survives or not. If it doesn't, then this Battle Priest is going to have to go the distance for us. They've got access to all 5 colors, but they don't have 2 white for Elspeth, so that's pretty good. Looks like this is dying. Okay. And now we're out, but we finally get to deal a point of damage to them. Hopefully their hand is just lands left, pretty much, but I, for some reason, doubt it. Abzan Charm. Yeah, they're just going all out. All 5 colors here. Draw 3, discard 2 unless you discard a creature. Sure. And we did not get off to as good of a start as I wanted to. This thing getting counters is really annoying, but sure. I mean, I can't really attack past it much anymore. Especially if they... Okay, that's not bad. I can't protect myself from the counterspell plus a dragon, even by playing a land. So let's just keep the lands in hand. Do this here. And then where do I want the counter? Let's put it on this creature. And see what comes here. Is this an instant or a sorcery? That's a sorcery. Sure. Negotiations has usually come in pretty clutch when I've had it. See if they go for a removal spell in response. Is there a Molten Exhale in the pool? There is not. There is a Wild Slash and a Fenza. Okay, getting that out of the hand. Good to know about that. Do I want to get rid of the card draw or the removal spell here? Gosh, they've already got so much card draw. I mean, me taking this doesn't stop them from drawing cards, right? So I need to just have my creatures survive, basically. And then if I attack with this as a 4/5, I could trade it with Dorat, and then Anafenza makes another 2/2. Is that even good for me? I mean, this is going to become a 4/4 next turn, at the very least. Let's bluff some sort of combat trick here. But I think I'm going to have to be okay with this trading with Dorat. Yeah, that's what I thought would happen. Let's go to damage. Deal the damage there. Get a 2/2, or make it a 4/4 first strike. Either is really not great for me, but sure. Play the land and pass. If we go to game 3 and we end up on the play, bringing in the other aggressive negotiations might be good. Let's hope it doesn't come to that. Okay, and then they get to cast Focus the Mind as well now with the Winter Night Stories. I could have prevented them from doing that, but they would have, in return, exiled our Battle Priest, which is kind of like the only thing we have going for us right now. I just think the longer this game goes, and yeah, the longer this game goes, the worse of a chance we have, which is kind of the theme of the league so far, but sure. Can at least attack with Battle Priest next turn. Let's see what we draw here. But they just have so much card draw. Yeah, that'll have to do, I guess. So at the beginning of combat, let's give this +1/+0, and then let's put the counter over here, only because I want to diversify my assets, because these are the two creatures they kind of have to deal with. So if I put the counter on this and then they kill it, I've lost all value, but at least I can keep the counters around once they kill the two creatures that are most pressing for them to kill here. Okay, so it looks like they're going to chump, just preserve their life total. Anafenza continually farming 2/2s as a result. No? Just making it bigger? Okay, that's good as well, I guess. And now with 5 cards in hand and 7 mana, I'm sure this can go swimmingly for us. I'm sure this will go great. And access to Elspeth mana now. And Dragonback Assault mana. And Baator Kin to All. There's a lot of things that I wouldn't like seeing here. And that's kind of one of them, I guess. And at least our dragon sticks around, though I don't expect it to stick around for much longer, if we're being honest. And let's see what else dies. And then their creatures are going to get lifelink. So I need to draw removal, like, literally right now. Sure. At least I can get rid of their board for the time being. My board does die too, but the lifelink isn't going to hit. So, or at least isn't going to hit as hard, it seems. So let's whittle down their board. Anafenza becomes a 7/7. I don't have hard removal to deal with that, do I? I'm not sure I do. So they're gaining at least 7 next turn, probably more. They can give it First Strike and Trample. In which case I probably just die next turn. Yeah, so we need these games to be relatively over with by about turn 6 at the latest. Once we get into 6, 7, 8 mana over there, they start getting really difficult. And there's the Dragonback Assault, followed by a land. No? Okay. No land in hand. We have to chump. Gains trample as well. Yeah, so it doesn't really matter here. We'll just go ahead and die. There's the land, there's the 4/4, and I am done with this game. Alright, let's see if we can get it in game number 3 here. I don't mind bringing in the aggressive negotiations number 2. Maybe we can get away with not mulliganing this this match here, or this game. Lancer, Bodyguard, Regent, everything here. I like everything over here. The Death Gorger even seems fine. Gosh, the negotiation just seems so important to get all those stupid busted cards out of the hand. This is more of a 4-drop. I need removal. I just keep coming back to this Ozolith. Like, it just seems too slow. This isn't a value matchup. This is a we need to win early matchup. So play a 2-drop, negotiations, put a counter on it, get their removal out of hand, and then just go to town. Is my plan, so let's see if it works. Alright, we get to go first. We've got a 2-drop. We have most of our main colors of mana. It's a 5-land hand, but we're just gonna hope that it gets us across the line here and we draw well enough to complement this hand. We've got a 2-drop into a 4-drop, both of which hopefully have attacks relatively early. But already dealt with some mulligans here, so let's see what we can top deck to get out of this. Looks like they're going to 6 here. I don't have the Descendant of Storms on 1. There's yet another land. You hate to see that. Alright, can I at least get 1 attack in with my 3/2? No. Well, I'm going to save it now that I have a Baron Step Siege here. I don't think I should be trading now that I drew that card. But the fact that I wasn't able to get a single hit in with the Chief makes this hand not very good. So let's no attacks, send it back. Turn 4, they're at 21, never a good spot with our deck here. Okay, there's a globe. And removal spell. Yeah. Ooh, just what I needed. Okay, and unfortunately it looks like the top of our deck did not cooperate with us here. We're not officially out of it, but it's really not looking good. Yeah, they're at 24. We haven't dealt a single point of damage to them, and they're already casting dragons, so... And we are out of gas. Can I draw a creature? Maybe? I guess that's a creature. I don't even think I want... I'm not gonna go and get anything else here. Even though I don't have green, I don't need to draw it right now. So, send it back. There's more card draw. Maybe I should have mulliganed the 5-land hand into, you know, a hand that had a 2-drop, or... I mean, this one had a 2-drop. I just 2-drop into 4-drop with 3 draw steps to find something else in between. I don't know. Didn't feel horrible, but here we are. probably attack with the Wild Lane. I guess not. No. Okay. Alright, send it back, I guess. It's funny, the one game we mulled to 6 and kept a 1-lander was the only one we've won of this matchup here, it seems. Oh, yeah, we're so toast now. Yeah, we have no chance. Darn. Unfortunate, but, I mean, looks like these 5-color greedy decks, they just work out. I mean, we just don't have the good cards in other other colors to really make our pool want to do this sort of thing, you know? It's taunting us there. Can't even cast it. Yeah, haven't really done anything here. And then they gain like 20 life next turn or something. If we're even alive, they're already dealing us minimum of 7. Might just even be dead on board. Not even sure. Haven't done the math. Yeah, I think I should have mulled this hand. It feels bad, but yeah, I'm done here. So, all right, let's go on to the comeback pack. See if we can get some help from it. Man, oh man. Well, it's starting to get to that point in the league. I think I've been talking about it for at least a week now, where our deck is just not really competing against these later game decks, and maybe I need to consider a rebuild after this. I've made my decision on my comeback pack that you'll see in a moment, but we fall from 9-3 in 24th place, and we do fall down just a few spots to 27th. If we do lose our last 2 and we fall into the 9 and 6s, we're dropping all the way down in the 50s or 60s. There's a ton of people at 9 and 6 right now, so we got to pull through and see if we can win our last 2 to get to an 11 and 4 on the week, and on the league is what we're shooting for here. Within the Abzan clan, we still are in 6th place here. Got a couple 9 and 5s underneath us. Lose the tiebreaker to both of them if we are to lose our next. But could move up to 10 and 4 and jump up in as high as 3rd if we do win that one. Now that comeback pack that I had mentioned, here is the one that we were presented with last week, or I guess yesterday, that we didn't take. It's the Tarkir Reforged pack that I chose not to take. It's got Mardu Skull Hunter, Arcus Acolyte, Planar Disruption. It's not a great pack, but if you see what's about to come on your screen right now, it's not much better. I mean, we've got Corpses of the Lost. I don't know if that card is so busted that I need to take this pack just because of it, but past that, we got a Feat of Resistance, a Pharika's Spawn, which our deck doesn't really care about trying to escape for 6 mana, an Eerie Soul Tender, which I don't care about, a Doomed Traveler, which I'm not playing. It's just Corpses of the Lost pretty much for this pack and the Feat of Resistance. So for our current Abzan deck, I did choose the first of these 2 Tarkir Reforged packs. So I brought in the cards from our comeback pack that we could consider adding to our pool, and I think at this point I need to slightly reevaluate what our deck in its current form is trying to do. And I think our deck is trying to play creatures early, protect those creatures and remove our opponent's creatures, and win through and underneath the late game stuff. So when I'm making my deck decisions here today in this rebuild, I'm going to keep that in mind. And Rakshas's Secret, probably not what we want. Watcher in the Roost, just too slow as well. Everything else here seems relatively okay, though. Let's bring in the Skull Hunter. The Ripper is an early creature that can attack and can also just push a little bit of damage if I morph it on turn 3 and draw it late or something. Planar Disruption, I think, is an auto include. We've got to be able to get a little bit more removal. And then the Arcus Acolyte is a little bit interesting. I don't know. It's got Outlast, and it gives other creatures Outlast. I just don't know if that's something that this deck is trying to do, especially on a splash here. So I'm going to put it in the sideboard for the moment. And then I'm actually going to take out this Ozolith. That feels really bad, but I've never wanted to cast that card yet. Everything else here, let's see what we've got. I think we actually are going to want to bring in the second Negotiations here. That is what our deck is trying to do. Champion of Doosan would actually be even pretty decent on a splash here. Let me just bring that in for a moment. See if that's what we're going for. Is there any other kind of removal? Or there is the Lightfoot technique, which does protect our early creatures. So potentially bringing something like that in as well. I doubt 2, but I'll bring them in for the moment. We've got the Resolve and the Reclamation. I think those are much better out of the sideboard here. We've got the Tempest Hawks. I think that's just even still a little bit too slow for what we're trying to do. Everything else I don't think fits in. So we've got 6 cuts from here, and it's just not thrilled with it. So what are we cutting from down here? We need all the removal we can. I like running these negotiations. I'd like to be able to protect my creatures, because usually what happens is I play one, they kill it. I don't have another one immediately. They play a 4/4, and then my game is over. So being able to protect my creatures seems pretty good, but like, what am I going to do? Cut 6 creatures out of this? That doesn't seem very good for me as well. These Sentinels haven't been super great, but the fixing, I don't know. I guess I can cut, maybe let's do one of these, one Lightfoot technique. If we were running green as a base color, I think the champion would be defensible, but as a splash, maybe not. The fact that this flies is usually good enough. I think I'd like to keep the rest of these creatures. Maybe the Ripper is actually what I need to put back. It's not quite as aggressive as I want it to be. I really do like main decking these 2 negotiations, though. I think that's going to be good for us. Maybe this Deathgorger, I mean, 6 mana. I'm not really going to cast it for its Omen that often. I do have 2 Exhales, but I don't think I really need to gain the life off of one of them or cast this for 1 too often. Maybe the Ripper, and then it's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 2-drops. The 2 negotiations here. Maneuver. I think I need the Betrayal. I think I need the Current. I like everything else in the 2s and the Descendants. I like all these 3s. The Lancer sticks out a little bit. And I like everything else up here. So I keep coming back to this Lightfoot technique. Maybe I'm not protecting my creatures. Maybe my way of protecting my creatures is by getting rid of their removal and putting a counter on it. I do like the technique. It's just, she's just running out of space here at this point in the league. So, all right. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to lock this one in here for now, and then I think I'm going to reevaluate my pool after one more loss with a little bit more scrutiny and see if there's a way I could fit in some sort of 5-color nonsense, because that's just the only thing we're losing to at this point, and I think the only thing we will continue to lose to going forward. There could also be a Mardu deck in there. I think we have 2 red-black lands, but the Warden of the Grove is really good. The Holomerk Siege and the Warden of the Grove, I guess, are our only real reasons to be green right now. But I think I'm going to leave this as it is for the moment. And maybe we can get our last 2 wins and go 3-2 here this week. But we got 2 more matches left. Thanks for tuning in today, and I'll see you tomorrow for your Arena Gauntlet League match.